This election must be about the people of Mbeere and their rightful share of development.
Moses Kuria is a man on a mission and is a man to keenly watch in the Kenyan political landscape.
UDA did not win in Mbeere and in Malava.
Now, in the just concluded by-elections in Kenya, that is specifically in Mbeere North, Moses Kuria played a very important role to ensure that the UDA candidate, that is Leonard Wamuthende, won that election.
Vote for Mbeere. It's not about Kivoi, it's not about Moses Kuria, it's not about Chama cha Kazi, it's not about DCP and all other parties. It's about the interests of Mbeere people.
Now, Moses Kuria, ladies and gentlemen, decided to back up the candidate that was initially for the DCP party, that is Duncan Mbui, under his political party, that is Chama cha Kazi. And Duncan Mbui ended up splitting the votes that were meant for Newton Kariuki. And that was the plan by the government. Remember, the margin between Leonard Wamuthende of the UDA party who won and the second candidate who was being backed up by the united opposition, that is Newton Kariuki, was only 500 votes. Moses Kuria deployed a very, very strategic scheme in Mbeere North. And the government later confirmed that the decoy worked out perfectly. That was through the post that Dennis Itumbi posted. The reason as to why I'm telling you that Moses Kuria never left the government. Moses Kuria is actually a man on a mission.
Moses Kuria is going to run for president in 2027 if there's an election?
Well, that's a possibility, yes. That's a possibility.
That has been very, very evident by his recent post that he wants to now vie for Nairobi gubernatorial seat. Ladies and gentlemen, before I delve into deeper details about Moses Kuria, then please take a second or two to subscribe to this particular channel. Remember, less than a year ago, Moses Kuria resigned from the government, claiming that he was going to pursue his personal interests.
It is the prerogative of the president to reshuffle cabinet. He can do it anytime. We don't have that power. He has a power.
But now, it has emerged that Moses Kuria is not pursuing his personal interest. Moses Kuria is working perfectly well for William Samoei Ruto outside the government than inside the government. So let nobody deceive you that Moses Kuria is not in the government. Moses Kuria is still working for William Samoei Ruto. And his latest ambitions to vie for Nairobi gubernatorial seat is also a scheme by William Samoei Ruto. You know very well that Babu Owino has made clear his intentions to vie for the Nairobi gubernatorial seat. And Johnson Sakaja also wants to defend his seat as the Nairobi governor. Moses Kuria has decided to join that race. Why do you think that Moses Kuria has now decided to join Nairobi politics? You know, Nairobi is the center of Kenyan economy, and a lot of activities happen in Nairobi. And William Samoei Ruto must have direct interest in Nairobi politics. And that is the reason as to why I strongly believe that Moses Kuria is now going to be used as a proxy of the government in that particular race, either to save Sakaja or to split the votes. Remember, the opposition said that the government really intimidated voters in Mbeere North, and there was a lot of voter bribery until the final day of voting, whereby voters were suppressed. There was also a lot of voter apathy. Remember, the younger population were not there. We only had old and middle-aged people voting. That was very important in that particular elections in Mbeere North. The reason as to why the Mbeere North seat was left vacant was appointment of Geoffrey Ruku in the cabinet of William Samoei Ruto. So Geoffrey Ruku working for William Samoei Ruto was making sure that his interests in Mbeere North remained untouched. That is the reason as to why he even decided to unleash state goons to disrupt that elections. Now the united opposition, through the leadership of Rigathi Gachagua and Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka and Martha Karua, have now decided that they are going to challenge that election in court, claiming that those elections were rigged. They were rigged by the government because the government really intimidated voters in Mbeere North. And what really shocked Kenyans, ladies and gentlemen, Rigathi Gachagua has been claiming that he is the mountain kingpin. And we also had Honorable Kithure Kindiki, who is the deputy president, campaigning for Leonard Wamuthende. And the people from the mountain, you guys really shocked me. Despite the fact that this UDA candidate was linked to a lot of multi-million corruption cases, you guys still went ahead to vote for him because the margin was only 500 votes, despite the fact that the votes were compromised. The margin was so small to mean the people of Mount Kenya, specifically in Mbeere North, voted for Leonard Wamuthende. That means that, ladies and gentlemen, there were a lot of money that the government used in that particular by-election. And that particular by-election, ladies and gentlemen, the people from grassroots level said specifically that it was the most expensive by-elections in the Republic of Kenya. That the government really used a lot of money. The government invested a lot of money in Mbeere North to make sure that it controls some parts of the mountain. Rigathi Gachagua has been claiming that he has fully guarded the mountain and William Samoei Ruto cannot access the mountain. But William Samoei Ruto actually shown Rigathi Gachagua that he can still access the mountain through his candidate who won, Leonard Wamuthende. And this is now the question. Do you think that these elections were free and fair? Or do you think that the government compromised the votes or rather the results of that by-election? If you think that the elections were free and fair, then tell me in the comment section. And if you think the elections results were manipulated, then just tell me in the comment section. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that's all for now. This is Alois TV. In the event you're watching me for the first time, then please join my channel by hitting the subscribe button. If politics is one of the things that you're passionate about, then this is definitely one of the best political platforms for you. Bye-bye.